Well, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to the first day of April. I'm not going to say April Fool. The last time I did something dopey like that, I think I was in the 5th grade or something. But welcome to Man About Town. We are a production of 321 Media. We are streaming live on Talk New England, our new name on Talk New England. And we are live right here in beautiful downtown Westerly, Rhode Island. It's gray and it rains on and off, but it's better than all the white stuff that piled up. And we are brought to you by Valenti Subaru at Dunn's Corners. We love Valenti Subaru and Bruce Morrow and his staff. And again, I will remind you that, yes, they still have some 2025s on the lot and they want them off. So when they want them off, what are they doing? They are dealing. So get in there, but they also have the new cars as well. They have Ascents, Outbacks, Imprezas, Legacies, hybrids, pre-owned, cars on clearance. And I can tell you that as of last week, and I did not look this week, so it's my mistake. But as of last week, they had 54 Foresters. They are really hot cars. So again, Valenti Subaru, we thank them for being our major presenting sponsors. And I especially have to thank Bridget Hopkins and Bill Lancelota from the Westerly Library and Wilcox Park. They were our first guests 8 years ago. And today is, well, actually, April 3rd is the actual anniversary. We begin year number 8. So thank you. I guess you had no place else to go. First Wednesday of the month, you just keep coming back.
No,
right?
No, thank you.
On
We knew
our
we'd have
schedule.
chocolate if we came. So this is great.
He's more
And
interested in the
cookies.
chocolate than what's doing at the library. There's a lot doing at the library. I got my copy of the Chronicle, which...
Oh, yeah.
Let me have one of them so I can hold it up and just show everybody. You will get this every month in your inbox. If you don't have an inbox because you don't play with computer machines, you can go to the library and get a copy, but do it early because they run out fast. It's wonderful. It gives you everything that is going on. You're never late. You always have them like in advance. So whoever's putting all that together, they're doing a great job.
Good job, Amanda.
I was going to say,
Thank you, Amanda.
Mhm.
Thank you very much, Amanda, because she wears a lot of hats.
Yes.
Mhm.
That's why you pay her the big bucks.
Right.
Yeah.
Yep.
Amanda's laughing right now, probably like they pay me the big bucks. All right, month of April. Please, God, no more snow. And you tell us everything that's going on. Although I read the column in the paper yesterday, I saw the Chronicle, and as always, a whole lot more than books.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, what's
Where do you-
going on?
Where do you want to start? Should we start with what's going on today, April
Today
1st?
5 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because when I leave here, that's where I'm going. I'm
Yes.
going to see what's hanging at the Hoxie.
Yep.
Yeah.
Our good friends at the Olean Center have the exhibit this month. And so the pieces can be viewed in the Hoxie Gallery through the month of April during library hours.
I'm going to stop you
And-
right there just for a second.
Yeah.
I always think of the people that are with us that aren't in this area and don't know about the Olean Center.
Mhm.
It is a wonderful organization. It's more than an organization. It's a school. It's for adults and children with disabilities age 3 and up. They do all kinds of great stuff and they help them find jobs and where they meet them where they are and whatever they want in life, the Olean Center can do. All right, now
All right.
take it.
And they also have a great art program.
Boy,
and
do they.
This is where we see the results of that. And if you go to the Hoxie Gallery today, tonight, is it tonight?
5
Yeah.
to 7.
5 to
Yeah.
7.
Yeah, they've
Yep,
been
we
an
have our
opening.
open gallery opening and the opportunity to meet the artists.
Yeah.
But not only that, they've also been doing art drop-in art classes in the Hoxie Gallery. They had one today. They have it
Yesterday.
again. Oh, yesterday?
Mhm,
And they have it again tomorrow.
mhm.
So 2 of them tomorrow, one from 10 to 11 a.m., another one from 2 to 3 p.m. So,
Yes. Yes.
So it's drop-in art classes for anybody who wants to play, learn,
Yep.
draw, paint,
mhm.
Yep.
whatever.
And this exhibit is themed See Me. So it's showcasing artwork about the unique interests of the artists of the Olean Center.
Mhm.
Great.
Yeah,
That
amazing.
is great. And I've seen their art. These people turn out some fantastic stuff.
Yes.
And I remember from prior years, it's not always for sale. Some of it is, but some of the people are so proud of what they have made, they
Mhm.
want to keep it. And you can certainly understand that. Very well worth seeing it. And they have snacks too.
Yes.
Mhm.
Only tonight, though.
Yes.
It's up for the whole month.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, what
Yeah.
else we have?
What
Yep.
big thing is Library Week
Woohoo!
coming up.
Every April.
That's right.
Yeah. So library is Sunday, April 19 through Saturday, April 25th.
And you have open bar every day.
Not quite. But well, this year's theme is Find Your Joy.
Yeah.
So
And that is based off of the Michael Threets, who
Mhm.
is a award-winning librarian and also the new host of Reading Rainbow.
Ah,
mhm.
And he has done so many inspirational videos about loving the library and visiting the library and just finding joy at the library.
Mhm.
So he was
we can all use
the
some
theme for
joy.
inspiration. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Mhm.
So there's lots of things going on this week.
Tons. All of Library Week, participate in the all ages scavenger hunt. Stop by any of our service desks and pick up clues to the scavenger hunt.
So when does that start?
Library Week. Well, we aren't open
On
on the
the
19th,
19th?
but the 20th.
So that Monday.
Yep.
Yes.
Okay. And then it goes for the rest
The
of
rest
the
of the
month.
week. And we've
The
got,
Oh,
Yeah. Through April 25th.
yes.
prizes?
Yes.
Yes, the library. You get to enjoy the library.
Amanda's going to
I'm
be, I can
sure.
see
Yeah,
her on the
she
phone
is.
going.
She's gonna say yes. There's
Okay.
Yeah, and then Monday, in celebration of National Library Week's Right to Read Day, which
Mhm.
is that Monday, we're screening the film The Librarians.
Yeah, I
Which
saw
is a
that.
documentary, which is going to be followed by a Q&A and panel discussion with Bill, Mary Ann Mirando, who is the former school librarian at the high school.
Great.
And
That's in the
Yeah.
evening though, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I would love to go to that, but that's Rotary night. But I would
Ah.
love to go because I did see that in the paper,
and it's
I'm,
also on PBS, The
Oh, good.
Librarians.
I
Yes.
am very passionate about that right to read and read whatever you want.
And
And
all
if-
of there's so many challenges right now. People
Still,
dictating, is particularly in school libraries,
Mhm.
about what can be on the shelves and what should not be on the shelves. And there's actually been
they're never going
even-
to come to a
even
conclusion
very
on that.
recently library directors have been fired for
Yep.
not refusing to remove materials
Mhm.
Ooh.
from their library shelves.
And who would fire them? Would it be the local board of education? Would it be the local school? Would it be, where's the pressure? Would it be the school
think-
superintendent?
I think it depends. It could be the library board,
Mhm.
or it could be, if they're a municipal library, it could come from a little higher up. Or if it's in a school.
It's a shame.
Yeah.
It truly is a shame.
There's something for everyone in a library.
Do you
so-
anticipate problems here?
Well, thankfully, last year, Rhode Island passed the Freedom to Read Act. So that goes a long way toward making sure that that sort of censorship doesn't happen in our state. There's going to be continual challenges and threats and stuff like that, because the people doing this like to make a big noise and they like to get people
I know
riled
there are a
up.
couple in this community
Yes.
that really like to make a big
Yes.
noise.
Yeah.
And they're going to continue to do that.
Yeah.
But at least
I would
now we
not
have
want
some
anybody to disturb
protections in
what you're
place.
going to be doing, though,
No.
on that
But
day.
it's, I don't know if this is a great analogy, but if you think when you go into a store
Mhm.
and purchase groceries, there's certain things you like and certain things you don't. But those things that you don't like doesn't mean that someone else doesn't want them.
That's right.
Yeah.
So you pick and choose.
I think it's a fine analogy. It makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Well, it'll be interesting.
except for tofu. I'm
Yeah.
sorry. There's just no excuse.
Okay.
Yeah.
So after we have a brawl at the library in 2 weeks, then what are we doing?
All right.
Well, the next day after the screening, we're going to celebrate everyone who works in the library.
Mhm.
How nice.
It's National Library Workers Day. So we're going to
That'll
ask
be the
everyone.
21st.
Yes. Everyone who comes in, if you could just thank the staff who work tirelessly to bring you everything, all the
Mhm.
wonderful programs, services, resources, and keep up the spaces. And we also call it National Library Workers and Park Workers Day, since we have our park. So
Yeah.
we can also
We're not going to
also thank
exclude our
our-
park workers.
our park staff for the amazing space that they provide.
Okay.
And that same day, actually on April 7th and the 21st, there's going to be a joyful movement program for kids centered around music, movement, and active joy at the library for kids ages 4 and up and their caregivers. So that should be a lot of fun.
Yep.
On Wednesday is National Library Outreach Day. So we're going to celebrate library outreach and dedicated library professionals who are meeting patrons where they live. And we'll talk about our homebound program with folks. So
Yeah.
yes, anyone out
And
there
you
who
knew
doesn't
that
know?
we had a homebound program.
Yes.
Yep.
So if anyone out there knows someone who cannot get to the library, either
Mhm.
because of a temporary or permanent disability or setback, like a broken leg, not
Mhm.
because your car is not working,
Broken
uh,
car.
you can apply to have materials delivered to your home.
Which I think is great. So
And picked up.
somebody who slipped on the ice like Ben did,
Yes.
when they can't walk, they
Yes.
can't get out, and they don't have somebody to do it for them, you will help them and get them
Yes.
books and also
Yep.
DVDs and anything else
Yes.
they need.
And
or
we
want.
have some wonderful volunteers who have
Mhm.
offered to pick up the books, bring them to our patrons at home and pick them up.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah.
Very good.
All right. Let's see what's going on Thursday. Take Action for Libraries Day. It's a day to rally advocates to support libraries. So we'll be asking people to
Another protest?
contact members of Congress and just, well, we're lucky here. All the Rhode Island representatives are very supportive of libraries, always have been,
Yes.
especially Jack Reed.
Yes.
And
I was
so
going to say, but who wouldn't be?
we'll be
I mean,
asking,
in Arkansas and Oregon and in
We are
New Hampshire,
very lucky
who would
here.
not be?
we're going to make sure we give them a call on that day and thank them for
Yeah.
their continuing support.
Yes.
So.
Yes. And on Friday, it's for the love of, we have a program for the love and joy of trees. It's for Arbor Day. There's not a National Library themed day, but there is going to be a program in the auditorium from 10 a.m. to noon, followed by a ceremonial tree planting of a Liberty tree in the park. And you can also take home a tree.
Really?
Free
Yeah.
trees.
This will be
Yep.
Friday the 24th. This is the end of
Yes.
library week,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
Okay.
Which is Arbor Day.
So a Liberty tree, is that because of the 250th of the
Yes. And
country?
I think it is, what do they call those? The things that fall, or maybe
Leaves.
Saplings,
that come anyway.
cuttings. No.
We're not helping her.
That's- No,
No.
we're not.
Definitely not
But
helping her.
anyway, they are, I believe, from tree in Annapolis, Maryland.
I think so.
It's
That's
an original Liberty tree, and these came from that.
Seedlings,
So maybe seedlings.
branches.
Yes. You know, the thing,
Saplings.
like the little things that fall into the ground, and then you have it just
I'm
comes
loving
up out
watching
of the ground.
things that come up.
There's a word for it. Amanda, help me out.
This woman runs a library.
Oh.
Yeah. Anything? No?
Yes,
No.
Amanda's actually saying she doesn't see or hear us on Facebook.
Oh,
Oh, dear.
wow.
She doesn't see or hear us on Facebook. Oh, I know why. Tell her because we are now Talk New England.
Talk New England.
Yeah.
Talk New England, Amanda.
That's a new app. Or
It's a new app
or she can go on YouTube.
or on YouTube.
Yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay, we'll get back to the tree thing. We Alan, if he's listening, is probably dying listening to
Yes,
you.
he is.
Okay.
And then Saturday we have we're celebrating our volunteers, right?
Yes.
You're
RS
coming?
I RSVP'd this
All
morning.
right.
That is a very lovely thing that you do. I came last year. It was great
Mm-hmm.
and delicious.
Very
too,
yummy.
as I remember. Okay.
All right.
So what are the Friends of the Library up to? Do you know?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Oh,
Mhm.
you
They
making me
actually have-
skip around.
Well, we won't call it what Gail calls it, which is a drive-by drop-off.
Sounds violent.
She's
Okay.
the president of the Friends. I love it. But it's a drive-up, drop-off book drive.
Mhm.
Oh, that's great because I've got a stack of books and I was thinking, when can I
Yes.
drop these off before October, before the big sale?
Saturday, April 18th from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Is it the same place as last year, Bridget? Right outside?
Yes.
Right outside the park near the Michelli parking lot.
Yep.
So you pull into that
And that
parking lot between the post office and Michelli's Furniture, and you drive by the back of it, and at the park entrance, they'll take them off your hands.
that's wonderful. Now they're looking for hardcover books,
We accept
Only?
donations of clean hardback and paperback goods,
paperback too.
books in good condition and from all genres. We don't take smelly or stained books, magazines, textbooks, or Reader's Digest books. So,
The Reader's Digest condensed books, right?
Yes.
My mother used to get those through
Yes.
the mail.
Yes.
But back then it was a big deal. I can see why they don't want them now.
Yep.
Okay.
and the book donations will be sold at the Friends annual book sale, and all the proceeds go back to the library and help us fund all sorts of fun stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Can I go back to For the Love of Trees?
I
Why
don't
are
know.
you asking him?
I don't know.
Is this a
it
Bill
gonna get better?
Lancelota show?
Yes.
Okay.
In partnership with the Westerly Friends Meeting and the Westerly Land Trust, there's an Arbor Day celebration featuring music and entertainment with Frank Pindola and John Rourke.
Mm.
Deirdre O'Connor of the Westerly Land Trust is going to talk programs and events families can talk about programs and events families can participate and speak about how the Land Trust is helping the tree canopy of Westerly. There's a poetry reading by Mark Diekman. Arborist Ashley Ravo will share how to care for our trees. And then there's the ceremonial tree planting from 12 to 1 out in the park.
And this is what day?
Still
Arbor
that
Day?
Arbor Day, Friday, April 24th.
I'm still, I'm not good at this stuff when it comes to gardening and all of that. But they're going to give everybody a tree on the 24th? I mean, they're
Whoever
not going
wants
out in
one.
the park to pull them up.
Correct. They're very tiny saplings.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remembered the word, volunteers.
Oh, okay.
When little
People from
Trees,
Tennessee are
tree-
volunteers.
trees come up that are surrounding a tree from the seeds that
Yeah.
come off of trees. Those are called volunteers.
That's right.
Oh, I never knew that.
I knew that. I forgot all about it.
Yep.
Okay, well, see, you learn something every day. Eventually, she
You've
gets
redeemed
it.
yourself.
Thank you.
Okay. Give us some more.
Oh,
Well,
got
it's not in April, but want people to keep in mind the Garden Market Fair is Sunday, May 17th.
Neighbor Day.
Yes.
yeah.
So keep that in mind. Mark your calendars. There's going to be all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, explain to people what that is, because
Oh,
there's so many wonderful
Yeah.
opportunities to buy things for your own garden, for your kitchen counter, for your friends, gifts,
Mhm.
all kinds of stuff.
we have all sorts of people in the gardening business who come in and set up booths.
With
Everything
plants and herbs and
soap
vegetables.
company, herbals, Frontier Farm,
Honey.
honey, yep.
Right?
And also a whole bunch of nonprofits are there with booths to talk about what they do for the
Olean
community.
Center is always there.
Yep.
They usually have artwork stationery
Mhm.
that their people have done.
And we
for
have
sale.
all sorts of activities. There's a sound bath with the Zen Zone at 9 a.m.
Aha.
So you can come and get your sound bath on. Soil testing with their friends, the URI Master Gardeners. There's gonna-
That's a big deal.
Yeah.
Yep.
Because that's free, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, the master gardeners from URI, I mean, they know what they're
Mhm.
doing. So you bring a little Dixie cup or baggie full of your horrible soil,
Yeah.
and they'll test it and they'll tell you what you can do to make things better.
Mhm.
Yeah. And we have a kids corner with natural arts painting and making your own dish gardens. Live animals with the Denison Pequot-Cepos Nature Center.
Yep.
That's a tough one.
Yeah.
We'll have alpacas again. Those are always
Right.
super fun.
From Lazy K Ranch.
And food truck with Westerly High School's Highland Grill. And live music with the Westerly Band. So something
So
for everyone.
It really is a community thing.
Mhm.
So you can go to the ceremony, which is right outside the town hall,
Mhm.
and then cross the street and go into our beautiful garden. And the weather will be perfect. You always
Yeah.
guarantee that, right?
Yes.
Yes,
Absolutely.
absolutely. We got an in.
Yeah. And if you see everything that's there, you will have gotten in your steps, because
Yes.
it's a good walk around that park.
Yeah.
But you don't even realize you're working out, because it's just gorgeous.
Mhm.
It is. I've never heard anybody complain about walking around that park.
Mhm.
And if you have a pooch, put him or her on a leash and take them.
Mhm.
Yes.
Because I don't know if she'll be there this year, but she's usually there. Diana, who comes from the URI area, she lives out that way, and she makes dog biscuits and things. She bakes them, and she usually has a booth there.
Yes.
She may be there. If not, probably the following weekend at Virtu.
Okay.
Mhm.
Because I know I've seen her at one or the other, but I thought it was the garden market there.
could
Maybe,
be.
maybe both. Who knows?
Yeah, there's there's just, I don't even know where to start.
We've got a few
All the
minutes
stuff
before we
going
take
on.
our break. So what do you have to fill 3 or 4 minutes?
Well, anyone who hasn't gotten their duck yet for the duck race.
The rubber duckies.
We are selling certificates at our circulation desk.
Lisa was here last week from the
Mm-hmm.
chamber and explained to everyone about the duck race. And if you buy it from the library gets a portion of the
Mhm.
money.
Yes.
So you're doing
Yes.
a good thing, and you're taking a chance on winning one of something like 90 prizes,
Yes.
as I remember.
Yes.
Yes.
And I remember the first
Grand
prize,
prize is a trip to Disney, right?
trip to Disney for 4 people. And
Mm.
if you're not interested in going, the chamber gives you $2,500.
Mm.
So if you say the kids have already been, or the heck with it, let them get themselves there, you can wind up with $2,500.
Yeah.
But there are some wonderful prizes. There's gift cards and restaurant cards and all kinds of things.
Mhm.
So we're selling them through the April 16th or until they're all gone. So
And usually they're all gone, aren't they?
Yeah.
You get them
Mhm.
right at the circulation desk when you
Mhm.
come in.
Yep.
Yes.
They're only $5 a certificate.
Yep.
So if you want to give the gals a $20 bill, they don't have to give you change, and you'll have 4 duckies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I should do that.
Feeling lucky, sponsor a ducky. Says it right there.
I was hoping you wouldn't have remembered that.
Sorry.
Ah,
We also, there's also a sip and shop at J. McLaughlin in Watch Hill on Saturday, April 25th from 11 to 4. So after the duck race, you can go to Watch Hill and take a walk around.
It is the same day.
And they will be donating a portion of sales to Westerly Library in Wilcox Park in celebration of National Library Week.
Mhm.
Yeah, that, it really is a big deal. It's not just for the people who work in the library. Look at all the activities they have. And if you don't remember everything we said, and we don't expect you to, you can go online. You can get your own copy of the Chronicle. You can go to the circulation desk when you're downtown and find out all these things that are going on, because there's something actually every day. There's something for kids. There's plenty for adults, stuff for teens. And why not?
Yeah. It's also, we're also having it's a challenge week during National Library Week for our annual fundraiser. So our board of trustees are going to chip in $10 for every donation secured during National Library Week.
No matter what the donation
with
is.
a maximum of $2,200.
Oh, that's great, though.
Yeah.
That really is. So if somebody only can give a couple of bucks, they'll still put in $10 to match it.
Yes.
That's really nice. Thank you, Board of Directors of the library. And this will be a good time to take a break. We have producer Johnny Boots. Hopefully, if there's a God in heaven, he's out there. And this is Man About Town. We are now part of Talk New England as of today, which is part of 321 Media. We will be back after these messages.
Welcome to Dan's Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner.
Oh, let's go down to Toscano's. Men's shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's Men's Shop since 1911.
I'm Johnny Mack, General Manager here at Sandy Motors, and since 1988 we've been making car buying wicked easy for Rhode Islanders. So come with me and let's go see how wicked easy we make it when car buying. From cars, trucks, and SUVs, Sandy Motors has the selection you want at the price you want. Get approved now and see all our inventory at sandymotors.com. Every vehicle in certified condition for you to drive for many years to come. Sandy Motors, we're making car buying is wicked easy.
You may not be able to tell from the outside, but cars are more complicated than ever on the inside. That's why you need to take your car to a place where the technicians really know what they're doing. Our experts have been repairing cars for almost 60 years. From simple brake jobs to complex transmissions. There's nothing the experts at AMCO haven't seen or fixed. That's why we know cars inside and out. AA MCO.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman C Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman C Insurance. Come put the Woodman C Insurance team to work for you.
She's there, she's everywhere, she's everywhere. She's a man about town and she knows what's going down.
Thank you, Johnny Boots, producer du jour, who's in Coventry, I believe. It's amazing the things we can do. All this technology, almost none of which do I understand, but I am with people who do understand. They know what's going on with books, with programs, with stuff for young people, with Library Week, with the Library of Things.
Yes.
You want to talk about
That's so
that?
crazy. I was just thinking about that.
And now you have a Library of Things for kids too.
We
Yes,
do.
we do.
So
And teens.
for those who don't know what in the love of God these people are talking about, tell them what a Library of Things is, because yours has grown exponentially.
It has. So Library of Things is literally just that. There are things that you can borrow outside of your traditional materials from the library, free of charge, just need your library card. There are some age limits just because some of the items do get pricey. So we don't want, little kids checking out something that their parents would be responsible for. But we have,
Please give them an idea.
Yeah.
Some of the things.
so we have is it an air compressor or a tire inflator? We have air quality testers. We have strollers. We have lawn games. The kids' room Tony boxes are really popular right now. They're
Tony
little boxes,
boxes?
and you purchase these characters, and they will read, and you put them on, and they read different stories.
So you don't have to go
So-
out and buy stuff and
So
then
you
find
ha-
out your kid doesn't
Yeah.
like it.
You need the box, but we have multiple characters. So you can just borrow a character.
What age would that be? Would that be like 6, 7, 8?
Preschool.
Yeah. Oh, preschool.
Preschool.
Okay.
Yeah. But they're very, very popular.
Yes.
And I can remember a couple of years ago when you first got the strollers, you said if you're having guests, you're having company, maybe they're flying in or something, they've got a child, they don't have to take a stroller on a plane. And you
Yes.
don't have to go out and rent one from Rent-A-Center.
Right.
You can get one from the library if you have a library card.
Right.
No
And
charge.
It's nice if, maybe you have a toddler that doesn't necessarily need a stroller, but you end up taking a long walk or going to the zoo or, something where they are going to get tired,
Right.
and you can just
Yeah.
borrow that. We have hot spots that we lend.
Hotspots are super popular. They go out all the time. We can't keep them in stock because there's such a demand for them out there. So
Yeah.
people are going away. They want to make sure they have reliable Wi-Fi and everything. They could.
And
pick
you're
up a
also
hotspot.
looking for people to donate items, are you not?
We are
they-
now. Yes.
If they're moving, if they're cleaning their house, if they're downsizing, and it's something in good workable condition and they don't want it anymore, you're
Yes.
taking it,
Yes.
correct?
We want something
give it a
in
good
very
home.
good.
Yeah, I don't
workable
want to put
condition.
words in your mouth if that's
Right.
not right.
We don't want to have to repair anything
Yes.
before we lend it out. But we have boom boxes, a boom box,
Yeah.
box.
Do they still use boom boxes?
CDs and VHS tapes are sort of making a comeback.
Yes. Everything old is new again.
Yeah.
I am so excited. You have no idea all the VHS tapes I've got, all the movies
Yeah.
on VHS
Yeah.
and all that. Wow.
So, and we do have a VHS player that you
Mm-hmm.
can borrow.
I've got my own,
Yeah.
believe
Yep.
it or not.
So,
We have a hand truck.
yes.
So
Oh, now
You're
that
if
is
you're
really
moving and you want to borrow the hand truck,
Oh,
you
yeah.
can check it out, take it with you, everything.
Yep.
I think
We have
I
a
think we
list.
still have the ghost hunting kit, which is very popular.
We have a list on our website. If you go onto our website and go to libraries,
Good.
or library, it does go to library of things, and then you can click on the
We have
kids one,
dozens
the
of
adults,
items. It's
and
pretty.
it'll bring you to the catalog, which lists all of the items that we have.
And
in
it's
our
always
library.
growing.
Yes.
Mhm.
I can.
We have over 40 items in
Yeah.
just the kids.
Something else which has nothing to do with the library of things, but I'm always amazed. People don't realize. I was talking to a neighbor who said she had gone to the local library, and the local library in this case was Langworthy Library,
Mhm.
and they didn't have a book she was looking for. She said, they just don't have it. And I said, well, did you tell them to get it? And she said, how would they get it? People don't understand that we are part of the entire ocean state system.
Mhm.
And I know I've used it at least 4 or 5 times. You look online and they'll say they have it in Portsmouth, Newport, Cranston.
Mhm.
They don't have it here. You just can sign right up on the computer. You can sign up when you're at the library. And it's amazing how fast they get it. They'll deliver it to the library of your choice. So
Yes.
Westerly, Langworthy, Ashaway, wherever.
Mhm.
Does anybody have that car with the purple heart plates out there?
Yes.
Is that you? Do you mind just moving it up a little bit? You're blocking the driveway.
Well, I'm on the air now. Can we wait till a few minutes? I guess we can't.
Yeah,
I guess
You can go ahead and we'll just
Yeah,
all
carry
right.
on.
talking.
Have
talking
fun with
about
this
stuff.
show.
All right.
Yeah.
Earth Day Book Club is on
I moved it up
Wednesday,
because I was
April
carrying something
22nd
really
from 2 to
big.
4 p.m. at the Champlin Farm Preserve. Join us in the Westerly Land
And I'm
Trust.
waiting for
Once
Howie
again, for a
Mills
free Earth Day
and
inspired
Detective
event
Alicio.
at
They're the
Champlin
next
Farm
guests.
Preserve. We'll be discussing Is the River Alive by Robert McFarlane, and we will be giving out free copies to the first 10 participants. Or check out a copy with your library card.
I see.
And there's a link to register, which you can find on our website.
Or if you got the Chronicle in your inbox.
Mhm.
Also on April 27th, which is a Monday, there's adult craft and movie night where you can work on simple arts and crafts projects, whether they're, you're bringing it from home or utilizing some of our materials, and watch Secondhand Lion starring Haley Joel Osment, Robert Duvall, and Michael Caine. Yeah. And then 2 days later, on Wednesday, April 29th, 6 to 7
I'm
p.m.
on the air. I can't
chocolate
talk
and
to
coffee
you.
perfect
No,
pairing.
I can't. I'm on the air
So is there a
live.
better pairing?
This was a problem.
Coffee and chocolate, Bill?
No.
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 So Kim Larkin of Classic Creations is going to discuss the history and health benefits of coffee and chocolate, and participants will taste test different pairings throughout the presentation. Coffee served will be decaf since it's the evening. Registration is required just to make sure that we have enough coffee and chocolate for you.
They should have caffeinated coffee too. My family's always drank coffee in the evening.
Right.
So.
Just to
Full strength?
just
Full
to
strength,
let
my
you
parents.
know,
Oh,
the
no.
police
Insane.
officer who came in, apparently just about that much of my car was, according to the woman blocking the driveway. But this is Westerly, and for those of you who are not in Westerly, you have to understand, they say everybody knows everybody. I moved the car, I'm trying to run back here, and the woman is yelling, Rona, how are you? Come here, I want to talk to you. And I'm yelling, I'm on the air. That's nice, come here. So I'm glad I'm back. Thank you very
Yes.
much.
All right.
I now know if
You
I
missed
go,
all the good stuff.
I know
Yeah.
if I go on vacation,
Okay.
you two can do the show.
All right.
Why not? Okay, so
Oh my goodness.
where are we? Tell me.
Well, we talked about
co-hosts.
the chocolate and coffee program.
Ooh,
Mhm.
All right.
that is caffeine and caffeine.
Yes.
Yeah.
And that's on Wednesday, April 29th. So you got to show up for that one. Let's see. We already talked about Joyful Movement with the kids April 7th and 21st from 10:30 to 11 in the terrace room. Another youth program to highlight is our new Pokemon Club. It's Fridays, so it'll be April 3rd and 17th from 4 to 5 p.m. in the tween space. Kids and tweens ages 7 to 12 are welcome to join us in the castle in the kids' room to enjoy everything Pokemon. So we have cards, crafts, and more, so come on, check it out.
There's also a teen book club on Wednesdays from 4 to 5 p.m. To just chat about what teens are currently reading. No pressure.
What are they reading? Graphic novels?
Well, graphic novels and other novels. There's a lot of
Depends on the teen.
yeah.
So
So you
Taylor
can
Swift
swap
books.
Sure.
swap book titles, eat snacks, and meet other teens who love to read. Easy peasy.
Yep.
But I'm really excited. I don't know if I'll actually be able to go because we have our volunteer luncheon and so much is happening on April 25th. But family movie matinee, they're showing Matilda, which is one of my favorite movies, but I do not know which version this is, if it's the one with Danny DeVito and Rhea Perlman or not.
Most likely.
there
I
are
didn't
newer
know there was
there's
more
a
than
newer
one
one.
version.
There's a newer musical, isn't there?
Yeah,
I think there
Yes.
is, but I think
Matilda the musical, right?
Mhm.
so. Fantastic movie.
Well, you could always
Fantastic book.
go downstairs to the media room and take it out.
Yes, I can.
Oh, very exciting technology news. We're going to have 3 Makerspace open houses in April. They're all during Library Week. So on April 20th from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m., there's an open house for Makerspace and Assistive Tech. Assistive Tech is stuff like, vision assistance for those with vision impairments.
Mobility issues. We have Braille and large print keyboards, and we have mice that are designed for those who have mobility issues with clicking and scrolling. What else do we have? I just looked at the whole list.
Yeah.
We've got a lot.
We got a lot.
Yeah, we have a
So, and if they
we
come-
have a Perkins Brailler. So
Yep.
if you actually need to type something in
In
Braille,
Braille.
you can do that.
From
Cool.
Perkins School in Boston.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
That is, I didn't even know they had stuff like that. That's amazing.
And that Wednesday, April 22nd from 12 to 4 is Craft Day in the Makerspace. So you can come in and we've got tons of craft equipment, sewing equipment, all that sort of stuff. And you'll have our staff on hand to, show you what we can do as far as crafting goes. And then on Saturday, the 25th, that busy day from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m., staff tech demo. I believe that's going to be featuring our 3D printer and Glowforge.
Laser cutter and an engraver.
So, yes.
And people who know what they're doing.
Yes.
Yes.
Very important.
Yeah. There's lots of other things, including America 250 Westerly Land, Sea, and Liberty Adventure Day. That's part of the America 250 Westerly Committee, which is happening Saturday. I think that's a Saturday, April 18th from 12 to 3 p.m. in Wilcox Park. Families are invited to walk through the park to learn about life during the Revolution and decide if they have what it takes to join the Minutemen or the Privateers.
And that's the 18th, you said?
Yes. Yes.
Oh, and you mentioned earlier people who don't have anything to do with computers. Well, if they're out there and they want to learn, we have our digital learning hub. We're going to be teaching computer basics to people on Wednesday, April 22nd from 6 to 7 p.m. in the auditorium. So anyone out there new to computers or just hasn't used them in a while and wants a refresher course, come on by.
Do they have to bring their own laptop or
Oh, no.
whatever?
No. You don't need any equipment. So we'll supply any equipment needed. And
Yeah.
we'll
But
just
they
have
don't get a free computer to take home.
No.
No.
We can only afford so.
Yes.
Okay. How about, unless I missed it while I was out there,
Mhm.
that doesn't happen in big cities. Um,
Yeah, they
The
just tow your
kids.
car.
the kids. What's doing in the kids' room?
Oh, we just did some.
Okay.
There's also always ongoing
Mhm.
programs and
I know
events
Ben is always doing some great
yes.
stuff.
for our
Kids and teens.
kids. So Kids has Chapters Cookies and Coloring Club on Tuesdays. They have their homeschool hangout, craft times, take and makes, story times, 3 and younger play groups.
The
And
homeschool hangout. Do you have a lot of homeschool kids who come to that?
yes,
So there really are a lot.
Mhm.
That's such a good idea because they get the socialization that they miss
yes,
not being in a public
Yes.
school.
And out in the park, we have our All Readers Story Walk. It's Big Enough by Regina Link, local author, I believe. That's up through April 11th.
Now you said story walk.
Mm-hmm.
So there are pages that have been laminated and are in the park, and you can walk along and read it.
And it's kids' book.
Mhm.
Yes,
Yes.
What a good idea that is.
Oh, yeah.
yes. We've had one,
Obviously, Amanda thought of that.
and this Regina Link is a local author, and she's been a guest many times at the library doing reading her books, and she had artwork up in the Huxley Gallery because she's also an illustrator.
Now in April, isn't I got to think about it. Joseph Luzzi, Dante Society, doesn't he come in April?
Oh,
Is that the long history of Italian pirates?
No, he's not pirates. I don't think so.
No, that's Dante Society presents The Innocents of Florence
That's
Right.
it.
by Professor Joseph Luzzi.
Yes, he comes once a year
yeah.
normally. He's originally from here.
That's going to be April 11th from 1 to 3 p.m.
Yeah.
So, yes, I thought I saw the Italian Pirates
Yeah.
one. I thought, oh, it must be Dante Society.
Yeah, April 4th. So that's coming up
Oh, they do a lot.
I'm not
Saturday.
sure. I don't think that's the Dante Society. Though.
No, Saturday,
No,
1
no.
to 2:30 p.m. And this is Luca Rabazzini, who is an instructor at OLLI, which is the at URI,
Lifelong Learning.
Osher Lifelong Learning
Learning.
Institute at the University of Rhode Island.
Mhm.
And Luca is founder and CEO of RI Pirate Guy and a
Mhm.
6th grade social studies teacher. So he's going to explore with the audience the history and impact of Italian pirates on the world from antiquity to the 1800s.
Mhm.
Talking about how pirate ships were run, the impact that piracy had on international relations, global impacts on culture and commerce, the weapons and tactics used, and lasting legacies in the world.
Pirates are very popular, especially with younger people.
Yes.
Yeah, they love that.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and we're continuing our Chorus of Westerly pre-concert lecture series. Edward Elgar's The Dream of Gerontius. That's next Wednesday, April 8th,
Yep.
from 6 to 7 p.m.
Yep. Catherine Aaron, who's the artistic associate over at the Chorus of Westerly, will be leading this discussion, and she's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So
She's been on the air with us
yes.
too.
Should be an exciting talk on Wednesday, April 15th on Nathaniel Greene, the famous Rhode Island Revolutionary War general who was Washington's right-hand man. General Nathaniel Greene was one of the most important Rhode Islanders in the history of our state. Greene's ties are well established with Warwick, where he was born and raised.
Isn't there a Nathaniel Greene
In
house
Coventry.
like in Coventry?
Yep.
Mhm.
And Coventry, where he built a house and lived for a few years before heading off to war in 1775. But very little has been written about Greene's ties with Westerly. Join local historian Mark Murphy for a discussion of the Greene family's connections with Westerly during and immediately after the Revolutionary War.
Very cool.
So, yes.
There's so much going on. I mean, I'm saying at the library, but in the town.
Yes.
That's the one bad thing about this area, and I've heard more people say there's too many things going on at the same time.
Yes.
And I know that most places will check with the chamber, but even if you check with the chamber, there's just so many Saturdays in a month or Wednesday afternoons in a month or whatever.
Yeah.
But you don't get bored in the greater Westerly area, that's for sure.
Not at all.
And there's so much that's free,
Yes.
especially the library.
Yeah.
Yes.
Everything that we do is free unless it's a fundraiser.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have another one planned for right now, correct?
No. Sorry, Rona.
No. Dang.
We'll let you know when we're gearing up.
I
for
know,
our
but
next
it's
one.
fun. I mean, I say it for a lot of reasons. I mean, but I know everybody's got their hand out, especially with, now you weren't part of 401 Gives, were you
No.
not?
No.
I didn't think so.
There's already so many nonprofits in the area. 401 Gives is a big day for them. And we are holding out for Library Week.
Ah. You know something?
Yes.
We've got about 6 or 7 minutes, and I think that is the centerpiece of today. So I think for those who may have tuned in late, I think you should talk about what's happening Library Week, what it is, and what each day is. From Bill's talk and that movie on Monday through honoring the people who work in the library, etc.
So National Library Week is a national celebration of all the things that libraries do, the people that make libraries happen, and the community it serves. So this year, the theme is Find Your Joy. There's something for everyone at the library, whether you think so or not. I guarantee there is something for you, whether it's a book to read or a program to attend or
A movie to take
a movie
home.
to take home, someone to talk to.
Library of Things.
Yes, yes.
Newspapers.
Newspapers.
You've got all those newspapers
Yes, and
there.
our databases. We have the Westerly Sun digitized through the 50s, I believe.
Yeah.
And we're working on adding to that.
And you've got Ancestry.com and you've
In the
got,
library, and we have New York Times online if you have your library card.
Kids can play video games.
Yep, we have video
Teens
games.
can play
to
guitar.
check out. Yeah, you can come play music in the library.
Yeah.
Yeah, we have the art gallery.
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that, you know,
Yeah,
it's
don't
amazing.
forget to stop by.
I mean, I grew up way back when it was, shh, you're in the library. And one day, not long ago, I'm in there and there's a young guy playing a guitar. Yeah. I mean, and the kids run around in the kids' room and they're screaming and giggling and having a great time.
Yeah. And that's because the needs of the community has changed. People you can access information from so many places. Hopefully you're looking to the library when you need reliable sources, because we can vet that for you. But there's so much more.
And we do have some quieter spaces.
Yes.
For those who need a little quiet.
Yes. If you need a quiet space, quieter space.
Quieter.
We do have,
can't guarantee
our
complete
second
silence.
floor. We also have 2 study rooms that can be
Booked.
booked.
Well, even
for free.
the room, the main room that you've got to the left when you come
The
in,
reading
where
room.
all the newspapers and magazines are, that's a pretty quiet room.
Yeah.
Yes.
And with great furniture, comfortable furniture, like the media room.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I was holed up on one of those chairs a few weeks ago on a Saturday. And, I was checking my phone and I was reading and just kind of kicking back. And you don't normally have that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was great.
Yeah.
Cool.
It was.
There is just so much. So there's tons of activities celebrating National Library Week. We have things for kids, tweens, teens, adults, all ages. We have our scavenger hunt and the family movie Matilda. We also have our spring appeal challenge where our board of trustees are for every donation made, they're giving us $10 up to $2,200.
Right. So, and you're not required to make a particular donation. You could, if you have $2 in your pocket or $5 or
Yeah.
$20.
And the
Anything
reason-
folks can
yeah.
spare.
And the reason we ask is because we are a nonprofit organization. We receive support from the towns of Westerly and Stonington, but combined, that's less than 20% of our budget. And so our endowment makes up a lot, as well as our fundraisers and donations from
And you have how many people on
supporters.
staff? Like 40 or something?
about 38.
Yeah,
Mhm.
yeah. And they like to get paid. They like to eat,
Taking care of
Terrible
the library
habit.
and the park.
right?
Yes.
So,
Yeah.
And they do a great job, so we have to pay them.
well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
You do. I am going to thank you both for coming as always and being part of the kickoff to year number 8. Have a wonderful Easter. Take
thank
some
you.
cookies home to your boys.
Thank you.
And we're going to take a break just a little bit earlier because we have to switch mics. We have to get the next crew in here. Following our 4 o'clock break, we are going to have, it's going to be like a police show. We've got 2 detectives coming in, Detective Mills and Detective Alicio from the Westerly Police Department. And always lots of things, everything from where to park, what's going on, scams, who knows, maybe the police call that we just had with me is going to be on there. And that lady next door did call the police.
Your friend?
No, someone else. Apparently, she wasn't driving. She was just one of those people that wants to be involved and be a good citizen. It didn't have anything else to do. So, let's open up the radio show. At any rate, you are listening to Man About Town. We are part of Talk New England, which is a production of 321 Media. We're going to take a break now. Please take note of the local sponsors, and we'll see you back shortly.
Oh, let's go down to Toscanos. Men shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's men's shop since 1911.
Welcome to Dan's Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner.
I'm Johnny Mack, General Manager here at Sandy Motors, and since 1988, we've been making car buying wicked easy for Rhode Islanders. So come with me and let's go see how wicked easy we make it one car buy. From cars, trucks, and SUVs, Sandy Motors has the selection you want at the price you want. Get approved now and see all our inventory at sandymotors.com. Every vehicle in certified condition for you to drive for many years to come. Sandy Motors, where making car buying is wicked easy.
You may not be able to tell from the outside, but cars are more complicated than ever on the inside. That's why you need to take your car to a place where the technicians really know what they're doing. Our experts have been repairing cars for almost 60 years. From simple brake jobs to complex transmissions. There's nothing the experts at AMCO haven't seen or fixed. That's why we know cars inside and out. AA MCO.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman C Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman C Insurance. Come put the Woodman C Insurance team to work for you.
Since 1974, Bill's Place has been serving up great times and unforgettable food. From family celebrations to post-game meals, it's the spot Kent County calls home, right on Main Street in West Warwick. Bill's Place has been part of the community for over 50 years, and it just keeps getting better. Come see what everyone's been raving about. For takeout, call 401-828-2300 or visit us online at billsplaceri.com. Bill's Place, where tradition meets great taste.
We've told you for years that AJ's Restaurant is Kent County's go-to spot for great breakfast, lunch, and takeout too at 828-4160. And now you'll find more parking, mere steps from the back of the building to AJ's front doors. AJ's, plenty of those world-famous home fries, plenty of parking, and as always, popular for breakfast, popular for lunch. 1365 Main Street, West Warwick.
She's there, she's everywhere, she's everywhere. She's a man about town and she knows what's going down.
Well, welcome to your daily cop show. Welcome back to Man About Town. And I don't have just one detective, I got two of them. I have Detective Alicio. Am I saying this correctly?
That's correct.
Anthony, known as Tony Alicio. And I have good old Detective Mills, who has also been with us pretty much since day one. And we are celebrating the beginning of year 8 of Man About Town. We are now Talk New England, which is still a part of 321 Media. We are broadcasting and podcasting live from beautiful downtown Westerly. And we are sponsored by Valenti Subaru of Dunn's Corners, Bruce Morrow, and staff. Reminding you, at least last week, they still had 54 Foresters on the lot. They have Ascents, Outbacks, Impresses, Legacies, Hybrids. They're having a clearance, and they are dealing. And they still have 2025. So if you really want a deal, you go in there and say, I'll get that off the lot for you. What can you do for me? So what can you do for the people of Westerly, gentlemen? I know what Detective Mills does, which is kind of a little bit of everything. But Detective Alicio, you have everything. You've got, well, tell everyone what you're in
I've
charge
got quite
of.
the array of
Young people, elderly, and
we'll
big
call them
guys in
seniors. We
between.
don't like to use that word elderly.
Thank you.
Senior citizens.
I hate the word elderly, but he told me elderly affairs, and I said,
It's actually
"Ooh,
called
Senior affairs.
senior affairs.
Yeah.
Can you get me one?" Looking for a anyway. Yeah. So seriously, tell folks exactly what's involved on all those levels.
Well, I handle all the juvenile matters for the department, prosecution, whatnot. Anytime there's a juvenile incident, it usually comes through my.
You used to be at the high school,
I
right?
used to be the SRO.
I remember that. So you know these
yeah.
juveniles.
I do. Their parents, everybody. You know, growing up here, it's like anybody that I had gone to school with back in the day. You know, we had kids, and you know, I know their kids and their kids' kids, and so it's kind of a intertwined thing that we do. But it's good to know, it gets you intertwined into the community, and it keeps you,
I think one of
busy.
the great things about with Detective Licho, anytime you have some type of a case involving a juvenile, Detective Licho usually knows the child, knows the mom and dad of the child, and like you said, he probably went to school with like a grandparent of the child, of of that child's.
That's the thing
child.
about Westerly, and that's what you didn't hear from your officer. And I was telling our audience when I came back in after that little incident, I moved my car, and now I just want to get back here. And I start running up the thing, and some lady down the street's going, "Is that Rona, man? Rona, come here. I want to talk to you." Not now, not now. But that's how it is around here. Everybody knows everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not a bad thing.
No, it isn't.
Kind of makes our job easier a lot of the times, because when they see a familiar face, they tend to de-escalate a little bit.
Yeah.
It's like, they'd rather talk to somebody that's been around for a while than somebody they know.
Exactly.
Like we have a very young department now. We have a lot of new hires, so us old
And they're
timers.
all out working on Route 1 today, where they had, because I had that coming down here,
Yeah.
and they were all young guys.
Yeah.
I always look to see, do I know them?
Do you know?
But-
I do
Well,
the
you're
same thing.
meeting them on your own accord by breaking the law, Rona. I mean,
Right.
I don't know what we're going to do.
Right.
Right.
I just
She might have a parking ticket on her
Yeah.
car.
That's part of the things that I do. I have to revocate licenses that people that shouldn't have them sometimes.
Well, Howie was here with the chief a couple of months ago, and they were really busting Ben for all his parking tickets. So, yeah, everybody knows what you're doing here. You don't get away with much. That's why we're a very low crime area, aren't we?
Well, I mean, things happen and people are still arrested. People have to follow the laws and abide by the laws, and there are arrests that are made. But, with like Detective Alicio, with him, he prosecutes all the juvenile, because I mean, obviously you arrest, juveniles, you arrest adults, seniors get arrested, but with the juveniles, and I don't know if you even know this, but the juveniles have to go to a different court than adults. They might go to the same courthouse.
Separate.
It's separate.
There's privacy things that fall into play when it comes to juvenile matters. They don't post them, and they might, if you see like the police log in the newspaper.
I do.
There'll never be a juvenile's name in there, or they might say a 14-year-old.
That's a sore point with me, because I have always said, if a 15-year-old or a 17-year-old commits a crime, and very often an adult crime, put their name in there. I don't see why they have to be protected. They're not sweethearts.
Well, because their records aren't for public record. Like, you can't request a public record for a juvenile
Well, maybe
matter
they should.
unless all the names are redacted out of the forms and out of the reports.
Why are we protecting people who are doing crimes?
Well, I guess when they look at juvenile matters, sometimes it might be a minor incident. In the juvenile world, there's different terms that we use too. We don't call them a defendant; we call them a respondent. So we don't.
I've got a term for them too, but we have the FCC behind us. So,
and also when it comes to like a civil infraction or a misdemeanor or a felony, in the juvenile world, it would still be a civil infraction, but a misdemeanor is known as a wayward charge, and a felony is a delinquent charge in the juvenile world. So there's different terminology that we use. There's different, like I said, there's all sorts of laws that protect, younger people.
And that's why we go to him for juvenile things. I mean, there's times where I'll say to him, I said, I didn't realize they arrested a juvenile for having a vape pen because they cannot have tobacco, things like that. Or, some things that you can carry as an adult, you can't obviously have as a child. You could be a 16-year-old and, it's obviously it's different from being
now
an adult.
the vape pen, the thing that you just mentioned, is that statewide? Or is that just this area?
That's Rhode Island general law.
Yeah. So it is.
Yes.
So it is statewide.
Yeah.
Because I was in Middletown last week, and there were kids outside the Holiday Inn there, and they were vaping, and they certainly didn't look very old.
Yeah.
They looked about 13. So
Well,
I wondered about
They
that.
took a
but-
lot of law off the books, like possession of tobacco or tobacco products.
Mhm.
That law is no longer on the books anymore. So you can't purchase it unless you're 21, and you have to show ID. But as far as possessing it, it's not really one of those things that we would prosecute. We would notify the parent, of course, and
Right.
say, hey, we find your child in possession of a tobacco product or a vape device, that type of thing. But we don't prosecute those cases anymore. They're not on the books as Rhode Island general law.
When you are, and he used the term elderly affairs, you're saying senior affairs. What kinds of police matters are there with seniors?
Well, I work closely with Tri-County Community Action.
Oh, yeah.
The Office of Healthy Aging now. It used to be called the Office of Elderly Affairs. They tried to make it less.
Right.
Using
So you're
that.
working with the office here at the North End, or Tri-County in general?
Tri-County in general.
Okay.
One of the caseworkers that I work with on a lot of different things. It could be self-neglect. It could be abuse.
Family neglect.
Scams, as we both know. There's a plethora of things out there that, a lot of people that, as they get older, they're not as tech savvy as the stuff that's coming out. So they see something pop up on their computer, they get a phone call, they think it's the real deal.
Oh, we've talked about that at plenty of times.
So
the scams.
when those cases come up, I try to get the other agency involved, the caseworkers, they're inundated as well. Because there's limited funding for certain things.
He goes to Florida a lot, but you probably don't have time to take a vacation with all the work you have.
Oh, I make it a point.
It sounds like you have a lot to be concerned with on a
Then
daily basis.
we get cases on top of those, that come in. It might be totally unrelated to senior affairs, juvenile matters. I also do sex offender registration. I monitor that and maintain that, and it's a separate. What do you call it? Program that we use through the state, through Rhode Island State Police, that we have to input all the data. We have to, constantly check up on.
So you're working in concert with the state police on that.
Because there's certain levels of registration for
Right.
offenders.
There's different levels, level 1, 2, 3.
Oh, I didn't realize that. I thought
Level 1
when
is
they have to
least
sign up.
likely to reoffend. Level 2 is moderate chance they could offend. A level 3 person is somebody that could reoffend.
All right. So if you have level 1, you have somebody who made a horrible mistake, but they're least liable to reoffend. They're still going to have a problem renting an apartment or a home or getting in a neighborhood. Does it have to be made? If they do move into a neighborhood, do the neighbors have to know even if it's
Not a level
one? Oh, they don't.
No, level 2 and 3 are the ones that we
Okay.
have to make a public announcement. We usually put it on our website, on the police website. There's also a sex offender registration website through the state that you can go on, and you can look it up. If you put it in, if you Googled it, you would find it. It would pop right up, and then we'll show you all the people that are levels 2 and 3 that live in your area.
Wow.
So
I didn't know there were different levels.
Yeah. I ask him sometimes about how some of that stuff works, because he deals with it every single day. So sometimes I might have that same question. Hey,
and regardless of the charge, they're all usually felonies.
Yeah.
When it comes to that, so if you're applying for a job, guess what? You have to put that on your application that you were charged with a felony. Because they don't ask for misdemeanor charges usually on job applications. It's only felony charges.
Do they then ask what the felony was?
I guess it would depend on the company,
Mhm.
but they're supposed to reveal that they were charged with a sex crime, and that they are they do have to register. So,
Detective Licio, if somebody moves out of town, do you have to notify the town that person is moving into, or how does that work?
That's a good question.
If there's a transfer, they would have
They're
to get,
moving to Florida.
they would have to,
wanna
well,
live
first of
his
all, they'd
life.
have to get, even if they're traveling.
Yeah.
Even
if they're traveling.
If they're traveling abroad, I have to contact the Marshal Service, who will notify, they need to let me know their itinerary, where they're flying out of, what their airport itinerary is, where they're landing, who they're staying with. That gets
If they're moving?
If
to
they're
a-
moving,
out
well,
of-
first of all, yeah, then they would have to notify the city or town that they're moving to. If it's a state
Even
to
if
state,
it's international? They're moving to Dubai permanently.
they have to, Interpol will get involved.
Still.
Yeah.
That's I guess it's good because it's protection.
I've seen
of-
before where somebody's just coming into Wesley for the weekend, and he'll get a phone call.
Yeah,
And
they have to notify us when they're coming into town, if they're leaving town, if they're where they work, the vehicles that they're operating, phones, all their internet, like Facebook, any social media services.
Do you then have to make that public? Do you have to post it
Not-
if they're
not
coming for
those
the
things.
weekend?
No, not usually that. That's that's a temporary situation. So, but I would let the officers know within the department, just to monitor any kind of activity. If they have any contact with the person, they contact me, and we can make the right phone calls to.
You've had it easy all these years.
I know. I used to do elderly affairs.
He's doing all this hard work.
Him and you have swapped elderly affairs a few times. I think I did it, then he did it, then I did it, then he got it back. And I still sometimes, if he ever needs any help or anything like that, I'm always willing to help him out with it. Just because some of these elderly affairs cases, him and I have gone out together, and somebody just maybe they're a little bit older, they're having a hard time taking care of their house, their property. And we might just get involved to try to get other assets involved to assist them, getting trash removal, getting somebody in there just to get some cleaning done. Because sometimes that's what it is. And then you try to, if there is family or any family in the area at all, even if not, you might be reaching out and saying, hey, this is kind of what we got. What can you do to help us, help your family, and help your aunt or aunt or grandparent? Because this has become an issue where it's maybe unsafe for them.
Yeah.
Because nobody really likes to hear that, you really can't take care of yourself and shouldn't be living in your home anymore. I don't think anybody wants to hear that, right?
No.
Because they're going to feel is that like,
Or have the keys taken away if they're
Right.
blocking a driveway or whatever.
Well, that's part of what I do. And let me go back on that. So, in order for me to revocate a license, take somebody's license, there would have to be a multitude of events. I wouldn't say there'd be 10 events, but if you had 3 accidents within a month, we're gonna look at that. So
Sure.
what that would be is that I would send.
Well, then you got to worry about the cognitive part
Right.
too.
Well, that it all goes into play.
Yeah.
So there's a form that I would fill out and send it to the Department of Motor Vehicles. They would look at it. They would look at the reports that I would send with it, and then they would make a determination as to whether to suspend the license or not. And then once that's, they get notified by mail. And then once the license has been suspended, you have the ability to appeal it. You can go to the DMV and say, I want to take the test. So there's a cognitive piece of it. There's a psychological piece to it. There's a driving test, all of that. So there's a lot of things that they would have to do in order to get the license back. Some people have done it,
Yeah.
I've got a lot of senior folks that drive and they're perfectly capable. And then there's others, we find their cars up on top of a stone wall or,
Oh my gosh.
accidents and.
So when are you going to write your book?
I've already said that I need a good publicist.
He does.
Oh my gosh.
And there's times that especially we're obviously a touristy town, officers will come across somebody that's in the town of Wesley and they have no idea where they're at.
Really?
They're from Massachusetts, New Hampshire, Maine, New York, and they're in the town of Wesley and they're like, I have no idea where I'm even at and I don't even know why I'm here. And that becomes a
they get in
whole
the car
different story.
with the auspice of going to someplace, but then they find themselves 2 states over,
Right.
Yeah.
So at this point now you're trying to find out who they are, where their family is, where they live, why are they here? You're trying to figure this out. And now you're trying to get somebody to get here to get their car.
So
Somebody
it's
to get here
not
to
a
pick them.
matter of they have a bad sense of direction. It can be a lot deeper than
Oh
that.
Yeah.
It could be some diminished capacity.
Yeah.
If they have dementia, Alzheimer's.
You're really good at those euphemisms, diminished capacity, seniors.
Well, you have to be.
and-
You have to.
Yeah.
You want to be politically correct. You don't want to use the wrong terms or medically speaking. I'm not a doctor by any chance, and I always tell people that I'm not a doctor. So I probably have a PhD in life, but other than that.
Yeah, I would think any cop does if they spend any time on a force.
Howard and I worked on a program years and years ago when we were doing senior affairs together. and it's an at-risk
sign up program
for anybody. It could be somebody with autism, could be somebody with other mental health issues that we
Diminished
might come
capacity.
across, somebody with diminished capacity, Alzheimer's, those type of things. It's a whole form we can fill out. We can put their picture in, so that way if the officer comes across this person, they will have an idea of what they're dealing with, because we have all that information in our system, in our database at the station. This way here, if they said, okay, they got the name because the person had their ID on them, they put the name in, we put a little caution, a red caution pops up. They go in, they look, and they can see everything that's listed in there. Other person's wanders, the person might have that diminished capacity or some type of cognitive, mental health issue.
Yeah.
And that way the officer that's dealing with that particular situation can make a decision, quickly. Who to call. There's all the contact informations. If there's a power of attorney, if there's a caretaker, all that information will be in there.
Yeah.
That really
and
is.
it has worked. We've had it work a few times, and we're still trying to push that program out there. I know Officer Dante Toronto kind of, again, when we were in community policing, was something that him and I developed, and it's kind of been taken over by community policing. I think Officer Dante Toronto is doing it now, but I've actually had a family member call me last year and thank me because a family member theirs who had some issues with a prior interaction with an officer. The officer wasn't trying to figure out what was going on with this person. But then after that, and when we did this and filled out all this paperwork and we put in notes what this person has going on and to contact this person, the officer was able to look in our system, see where there was the at-risk form that was filled out, who to contact, what this person kind of does sometimes, and everything kind of made sense now to the officer. He put it all together. Then he calls this person and says, "Hey, can you come get your family member?"
Yeah.
So
he's making the right call.
Making the right call. And she was
Yeah.
very thankful that the second time that we had dealt with this person, it was handled the way that she wanted to be handled, because she came in out and filled out this at-risk paperwork for him, and it worked out great.
And that's the other thing too, with the resources I have now, that I can make a phone call and try to get people help. I know some in-home care people that are great. That if somebody needs somebody, even if it's just for companionship, some people are lonely and they like a companion, or to help them around the house, do some cleaning, do some light cooking or meal preparation, that type of stuff. And like I said, if anybody wants to contact me, I can give them that information. You can call the station and ask for me, and I'll be more than happy to provide that information to them.
It's great that we have that. Does every department have that, or is Westerly kind of unique in doing that?
Most departments do have someone assigned to senior affairs, juvenile matters, sex offenders, that type of thing.
But I mean, taking it to that level, it just seems
it all
like
depends.
You've got all your T's crossed and your I's dotted.
Well, 27 years of doing it, so.
Wow.
I've been thinking about this, and I tell him this all the time, because Detective Alicio can retire anytime he wants, and I tell him all the time, hang in there, because if you leave, somebody's got to learn an awful lot of information.
Don't go anywhere.
Right? Because I mean, he's full. Firstly, he's full of knowledge, and I tell him all the time, hey, I got to go out and speak to so and so. He's about 50 years old. Do you know him? And I'll throw out a name, like, yeah, absolutely. He lives with so and so. He's married to so and so. But then again, when it comes to juvenile matters, officers call him continuously about questions about juveniles and this juvenile they're dealing with, and then daily somebody will deal with an elderly person regarding whatever it is. There's multiple things they might deal with. Somebody that's even just a scam. Somebody that's most people that get scammed are elderly, and they might just forward it to him to say, hey, I believe she might have all the faculties, or he might have all his faculties, but they are getting scammed. And is there any way that you have a resource that might be able to help this person out? And it might be just something small as that, but he deals with this stuff continuously.
Here's a question for you. Maybe unfair, but I'm good at unfair questions. 27 years. How do you keep from getting burned out? Is it the diversity of what you're doing now?
There's never Groundhog Day at the police station.
No, I'm sure there isn't.
So
I am sure.
That's why I love my job. I like what I do.
You would have
I like
to.
the people I work with.
Yeah.
You
know?
would have to, and because if you hated your job,
Oh, I
you
would have been.
wouldn't
I could have been going 7 years ago. I could have left 7 years ago. So there's something to say about that. You know.
Yeah.
Having, you know, I've been through, I think, 8 chiefs.
Yeah.
8 or 9 chiefs I've worked under. So, you know.
Are you the senior guy at the department?
I am it. So that's what I do. When I walk through, I always tell people that are working overtime, I said, "You're welcome." And they said, "For what?" I said, "Because I didn't take the overtime that you just got." So it goes through me first.
Yeah.
So it's a good feeling, you know. It's a good feeling. But I think I'm at that point where I got to make a decision very shortly.
Well, hopefully not for a while.
I hope
because,
not. You know.
Yeah, I mean, this town.
I got a little left in me.
I bet you do.
We work this game schedule. There's nothing better in the morning than walking in, and as I'm walking to my desk, I look over and I always say, "Good morning, Tone." And he says good morning to me, but he's always got this smile on his face. I've never gone into the office in the morning, and that's the only time that's Groundhog Day is just to walk into the office and like I purposely say the same thing to him every single morning because his office is right beside mine, and I just wait for the smile. And and that's the only thing that is the same about the day. Then as soon as that we say have like our good mornings together, like we're both off doing something different. It's never the same thing, like you said, every day, which makes it great.
Wait till you see the smile when he decides he's leaving.
No,
you get all the duties.
Big smile.
There'll be a frown, and then not just of losing like somebody that you've worked with for 20 years, but
yeah,
just,
No, I'm always so intrigued when I talk to police officers here, because the only place I do talk to them is I was still raised, a long time ago where, you had a little bit of fear of the police, like you better be good or else, and there were stupid parents who would, not mine, but stupid parents who would say things like, if you do bad, I'm going to call the policeman to take you away. Worst thing you could have said.
Oh, yeah.
But kids were terrified of police. A lot of them were. And you've put that whole new face on it. I mean, you play basketball with them, you barbecue with kids, you're there to help. The whole thing you do at Christmas is just amazing. And I love the fact that you do the car seats.
Yeah.
Because I saw, I was so tempted, but I wasn't even in Westerly. I was in Lincoln, of all places, last week, and I'm looking at these parents they had just bought a car seat at, I think it was Lowe's or Walmart or something, and they're trying to get it, and they're going like that. And I'm thinking, oh, where's Howie when you need him? And eventually they'll get it in, but it doesn't mean it's right.
Yeah,
so
9 out of 10 seats that we looked at, we did a child seat clinic the other last Saturday at Walmart. Every seat that we looked at, there was a correction they needed to be made. Nobody's seat was perfect, and it's hard to.
Parents don't realize it.
There's always a little bit of a correction that can be made.
Exactly.
So.
And we're going to make a correction now. I know you're going to
figured
say
that.
already, but yeah, we do need to take a break. We have our erstwhile producer up in Coventry helping us out, Johnny Boots. So I'm going to say thank you once again to you. You are listening to Man About Town. We are part now of Talk New England, produced by 321 Media. And I ask everyone to pay attention to these local people, because without them on the air, buying the advertising, we wouldn't be here. We'll be right back.
Welcome to Dan's Place, Rhode Island's #1 stop for amazing food, drinks, and live entertainment. Dan's Place offers a fantastic selection of unique menu items, including pizzas, pasta, steaks, and seafood. Here's what our customers have to say: a masterpiece on a crust. Watch your favorite New England teams on one of Dan's 4 big screen TVs. Looking for a great place to meet? Try Dan's Place.
I'm Dan from Dan's Place, where your only regret is not coming in sooner.
Oh, let's go down to Toscano's. Men shop downtown Westerly, where style and class go hand in hand. You can look your best and dress to please. Buy the right shoe, get the left one free. And if Paulie makes fun of you, you get an even bigger discount too. Toscano's men's shop since 1911.
Talk shows.
Okay.
But it'll be
I'm
under
Johnny Mack, General Manager here at Sandy Motors, and since 1988, we've been making car buying wicked easy for Rhode Islanders. So come with me and let's go see how wicked easy we make it when car buying. From cars, trucks, and SUVs, Sandy Motors has the selection you want at the price you want. Get approved now and see all our inventory at sandymotors.com. Every vehicle in certified condition for you to drive for many years to come. Sandy Motors, we're making car buying is wicked easy.
You may not be able to tell from the outside, but cars are more complicated than ever on the inside. That's why you need to take your car to a place where the technicians really know what they're doing. Our experts have been repairing cars for almost 60 years. From simple brake jobs to complex transmissions. There's nothing the experts at AMCO haven't seen or fixed. That's why we know cars inside and out. AA MCO.
Trusted Choice agents are in every Rhode Island community. They are your neighbors and friends who deliver the right policy at the right price from America's top insurance companies.
At Woodman C Insurance, we have been serving our clients and our community for over 60 years. By combining the level of personal attention you desire with the expertise you deserve, we develop an insurance portfolio designed to meet the specific needs of your family or business. And when the people who protect us need protecting, they trust Woodman C Insurance. Come put the Woodman C Insurance team to work for you.
Since 1974, Bill's Place has been serving up great times and unforgettable food. From family celebrations to post-game meals, it's the spot Kent County calls home, right on Main Street in West Warwick. Bill's Place has been part of the community for over 50 years, and it just keeps getting better. Come see what everyone's been raving about. For takeout, call 401-828-2300 or visit us online at billsplaceri.com. Bill's Place, where tradition meets great taste.
We've told you for years that AJ's Restaurant is Kent County's go-to spot for great breakfast, lunch, and takeout too at 828-4160. And now you'll find more parking, mere steps from the back of the building to AJ's front doors. AJ's, plenty of those world-famous home fries, plenty of parking, and as always, popular for breakfast, popular for lunch. 1365 Main Street, West Warwick.
She's there, she's everywhere, she's everywhere. She's a man about town and she knows what's going down.
Entry.
We are back, Man About Town, and we are here with not half the police department, 1/40th or 1/20th of the police department. But we are here with Detective Tony Alicio and with Detective Howie Mills. And we're talking about everything, especially during the break. And if you're looking for a job and you're reasonably young and in really good physical shape, and even if you're not, they'll get you that way. The chief is hiring, isn't he?
They are. The town of Westerly is hiring. This is the time of the year. I guess we can start with the summer hires of the community police officers, which are the community service officers, are the one that we hire for summer. Usually they start end of May, beginning of June. We'll get some of the college kids started as soon as they get out of college, which is usually end of May. We'll get them on board and get them going out there to issue parking tickets, enforce parking downtown, enforce parking down in Watch Hill. As soon as the high school kids graduate high school, if there's a couple of high school kids that are looking for the position, as soon as they usually are done with their high school senior year or whatever, it's usually around the 15th of June to the 20th of June, we'll get them off and going. We try to hire around 15 community service officers every year. That's the goal, is 15. I know when I ran it, and they are paid. They are. It's a paid position. You get this unique opportunity to work in the town of Westerly at the police department. You come in every single morning. You have like a mini roll call with Officer Algier, who now runs the community service officer position. Talk about what you need to do for the day. Then you're off and going with your portable radio and your ticket machine if that's where you're going to do tickets. Some of the officers might be heading down to one of the traffic posts for 4 hours, and the other few CSOs would be going to a right-of-way, either at Bluff in Everett, Bluff and Niantic, or Everett Avenue, doing those right-of-ways, making sure that people aren't parking, stopping, or standing when they're going to go down to the beach.
And telling the tourists that they're not entitled. We're happy to have you in town.
Right.
Leave your wallet, but you're not entitled. You can't go up on their lawn, and you can't park where it says don't park, even if it's I was only.
Yes.
It was just.
Well, the thing of it is, too, it's a good interlude into criminal justice if you're looking to go into that field.
Right.
So this gives you a little bit of an idea of, not the level that we're in, but some of it. Because sometimes you would have to direct traffic. You are going to issue parking tickets.
And you have to de-escalate a lot of the time.
And a lot of times you do.
When they're getting a big
So
ticket.
it's a good, preview into that so people can.
Before we move on, you mentioned a name, and I have to give him a shout out because I don't know how long he's been there, but they're making him do everything. Officer Algier. He works in the schools, and he's great with the kids. He's working with the CSOs. And I went to the celebration of life for Frank Selico Saturday, and he was out there directing traffic, park here, don't park there.
Yeah.
I said, oh my God, you're everywhere.
The best part about that, and you probably don't even know this, guess where he was Saturday morning? He was with me doing a child seat clinic at Walmart.
Oh no, I didn't know that.
So
they do, but he always has a smile on his face.
So he actually told me that day he actually signed to do the detail, the one that Detective Licio could have taken if he wanted to, because he's the most senior guy in the department. And for people that don't know,
they had some good food. You should have.
Those details are all done by seniority based, right? So the most senior officer gets the first bite at the apple, and it goes down, depending on who wants to sign for it. I'm up there.
Well, it was getting pretty windy and cold because I came out of there and I was doing this, and he was doing that too. So I don't know how excited he was, but he's
just
a great guy.
Somebody like Officer Algier, he started as a CSO. I started as a CSO. I did
I
the
think
CSO
you
program back in
mentioned
1999. But to see somebody like Officer Algier, who actually worked for me as a CSO, he did a great job as a CSO. And I told him, after his, second or third year doing it, I said, this is something maybe you should look into doing, because he wasn't really sure when he first started it. Him and his best friend did this program together, unsure if they wanted to do it. He ended up becoming a police officer's best friend that worked for me also, did not end up being a police officer. But
it's not for everybody.
It's not for everybody, but here we are.
Oh, I'm sure it's not.
5 or 6 years later, several years
it's
later.
It's dangerous.
I remember him coming to me when the school resource position came up, and he goes, "Can I come over and pick your brain?" So he come over to my house, and we just sat, talked about it, and I said, it's weird because I said, you're going to see, everybody says, oh, it's not a big deal. It's this, it's that. You're not busy. You don't do anything. It's just guys drawing at each other. Sure. I said, you will be one of the busiest people in the department, hands down.
And he is, apparently.
I said, your worst days are going to be Monday and Friday, because the weekend went by. Now Monday's the first time these kids, if they had some type of interaction with each other, negative or whatever, they're going to bring it into school. And Fridays, I said, I guarantee you,
they can't wait to get out.
They can't wait to get out, but it's Mondays and Fridays was my worst days, and he goes, you were right.
Yeah.
But he always calls me.
I know he does a great job there.
He does.
And the kids love him.
Yeah,
they really do.
They do. And sort of the staff and the administration.
Exactly.
From the outside looking in, because when Officer Algier's got to make an arrest or something like that at the high school, well, guess who does the prosecuting? Detective Alicio. So
he knows him.
Right. So he'll reach out to Detective Alicio and talk about the case and what they got, and and sometimes Detective Alicio can give him some guidance on this is probably the best course of action, because sometimes the juvenile might end up going into to up to fourth to family court, or he might do the what's the program that you just restarted
Juvenile
again?
Hearing Board.
Yes. See.
Well, not restarted. It's just been. When COVID hit, there were certain things. We're fortunate as a department that back in, oh God, I can't remember what year it was started. They started a thing called a Juvenile Hearing Board, which is a diversionary program. The family court has one as well, but it's still, it's different because this is held within the confines of our walls. At the station, it's comprised of all local people that sit on the board. I proctor it. We bring in, if it's, a first-time offender, you get a bite at the apple. Depending upon what it is. If there's a delinquent charge, like we talked about, a felony, if it's a violent crime, we can't hear it there. Drugs, we don't hear there. That goes to family court. But anything else, like say it was a vandalism thing, a kid threw a rock at a window or something where restitution can be made.
Kid was a kid.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Something.
Well, kids do stupid things. Throw a rock at a window.
Right.
But they're trying to be macho to the guy who's next to them.
So those type of incidents, we're fortunate enough to have the juvenile hearing board where I can say, okay, I'll petition the board. This is the case. My board comes in. I read the facts of the case. I say they have to admit guilt before they even come in. Because if you don't, then I'll petition family court. You can deal with it that way.
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the caveats to that, is that you've admitted guilt before you even walking through that door, because otherwise it's a moot point. You did something like you said.
So you're a good step in the middle to keep them out of family court and still put the fear of God into them.
I try.
Do you ever? Oh, I bet you do.
I have an outside voice.
I was going to say, do you have parents who will say to you sometimes, go scare them?
Oh, yeah.
Or, because I know a lot of teachers have told me parents today are the bigger problem than the kids. My kid doesn't do wrong, and don't yell at him, and don't do this,
Right.
and he wasn't feeling well, and
They watch all this stuff on social media where I don't have to listen to you, even police officers. I can do what I want. You don't have any rights. Well, I guess what? You broke the law, and we will figure that out in a different way if we have to. The last thing we want to do is arrest a juvenile.
Sure.
And nobody needs a notch in their gumbo with that kind of stuff. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking to get, again, resources. If there's something else going on, is there substance abuse? Is there physical abuse? Is there what have you is going on? We try to, decipher all that. And that way we can branch that juvenile out to the right person or the right resources. Right. So we like I said, over years, we've been able to develop that. And I've got some great resources at my fingertips. I can just, hey, I got this, and this. What do you think?
So you give a lot of these kids hours, for the volunteer hours, where they have to do service.
It depends on their age.
Service.
It depends on their age. Like most of the time, somebody's not. It would inconvenience the parents, but we can try to provide community service. But a lot of places say no. If they're under the age of 15 or 16, I can't have them here. Like at the animal shelter, they got to have somebody that's at least 16 years old, I believe it is.
Right.
In order to, the liability piece of it and all that. So, but if they're younger, like I said, there's minimal, at best, minimal opportunities for younger kids to do that kind of stuff yet. I wish I could go out and say, okay, I have some senior people that need some assistance with their yard. I wish we could do that, but the liability factor falls into place.
Yeah.
So then, unless they were going to sign all sorts of waivers and there was some kind of LLC.
God, you have a lot you got to think about, and you got to remember and learn. And I would think it's continuing education all the time.
Like I said, it's never Groundhog Day, and I never say I know everything, because every day I walk in, there's something different there that I've never seen that before. even with all my years on the job, it's like.
Before we move on to the next thing, Rona, you said something that made me laugh a little bit. You said it's sometimes kids just do stupid things, right? But then a little while ago, but earlier you were saying how these charges, they should be charged as an adult or whatever.
Yeah.
But this is why a juvenile, because again, kids do stupid things, and when they turn 18, kind of want to give them that clean slate that say, okay, now you're an adult. You did the stupid things when you were a kid. Now it's an adult. Adults get adult consequences. No more of this juvenile stuff. So
right.
I think that in a way it's nice that they do have that clean state when they're 18, and because we all do stupid things when we're
Do you
kids.
ever go into the high school and do an assembly program type thing?
Oh yeah.
Where you could do just what Howie said. As a kid, it's this, this, and this. Who's 18? Show me your hand. Who's
Right.
going to turn 18 this year?
Right.
These are the kinds of penalties you get.
Oh no, we've
It's
done.
like, I grew up in New Jersey, and the big thing there was Scared Straight, the thing with the
Right,
Rahway
right,
State
right.
Prison, and that would scare you pretty good.
We had that program a while back, but then they got away from that as well. So like I said, I'll go with Officer Algier or Officer Toronto, and do some speaking points at those type of things. When I was the SRO, I would go into a lot of different classes, especially the health class, because the group of teachers and faculty that I work with, they were great. We can make fun of each other, and keeping everybody engaged is great. And I still have some great videos. I put everything on a thumb drive so I can hand it off when I go. And there's a couple of them that I would play, and there wouldn't be a dry eye. Like I said,
So
close
you
your
don't
eyes.
get the kid that sits there like this. I'm going to be a big shot. Oh yeah.
You might, but for the most part, these videos that I had were very moving.
Mhm.
And then I'd always end on a positive note, because I didn't want anybody walking out feeling down or whatever. So I'd always do something positive and get them, laughing again. So
He
when
always
they
had
left,
he had the drunk glasses that he let the kids wear.
and we used to navigate shopping carts through cones and stuff.
You ever heard of the drunk glasses?
No.
So you can
Impaired, yeah, they're impaired
Oh
glasses. You
yes,
put them on.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
When you
Impaired
said
glasses.
impaired, I have.
Yeah, yes, the impaired, not drunk, but impaired.
Yeah.
Yes, and have
Because
them
nowadays it's
Yeah.
not just alcohol; it's
Other-
substances. And,
other substances.
Mr. Woods the other day,
Oh.
he blew a 0 on everything, but he was impaired. And I I saw last night on the news that they found 2 oxycodones in his pocket, and that was the problem with Tiger Woods.
well, that's the
For
thing.
sure.
A lot of times, you could also have somebody that's having a medical issue, like
Yeah.
insulin drop or that type of thing, diabetic, and they smell like they've had alcohol because it's like a fruity smell that
Oh, is it?
they emanate. Yeah.
Huh.
And then basically you said, okay, they're not impaired because they don't have the stigmas, so they don't have any of the telltale signs, but they're driving all over the road.
But they
they're
need
having
to
a
eat
medical
something or
Yeah.
whatever.
right. They need to get their blood sugar up.
Sometimes as an officer, when you first get there and you start talking to them, and you might think that you have something, and then all of a sudden you might see some insulin, and then it changes.
So you
your
do
thought
have to be a
process.
doctor.
Right.
You in a way,
Social worker,
you gotta
doctor,
know those.
babysitter,
Yeah.
parent, co-parent.
Yes. We're lucky though in our department we have these things called DREs, which are drug recognition officers. And
Where they can tell by the eyes, by the pupils, or
yep,
by
they have
the-
like
Blood pressure.
Yeah, they do a lot of that, and they, we'll get if we have a DRE officer working that's certified in being a DRE, they'll come to your scene, especially if you don't smell alcohol. But obviously there's something going on. There's some cognitive issues going on, and they'll come there and they'll do those things, and they can usually kind of tell you what they think is going on, which is great. And if it was something we should be charging, or it's an insulin issue or something like that.
We only have 10 minutes left, and we were going to talk about spring break scams.
Yes.
Which I think is a big thing to mention because they're out there.
Yeah. I think it happens all over the country. This is the time of the year. All the college kids are away on spring break, and we've had it in this town and all over. Their grandparents get the phone call that their grandchild is locked up somewhere in the United States,
Or abroad.
and they
That's
use kind of
more
this
scary.
Yeah, it's kind of the same script. I actually, I've seen some documentaries and things like that, and usually they all read from the same script. They just change some of the information, and but usually the keywords are your grandchild was intoxicated last night, got into an accident, rear-ended somebody that was pregnant.
Mhm. And I happen to have a lawyer here. That's like the closer,
Well,
right?
They have a lawyer that's here that can speak to you about bailing them out, and then sometimes they'll put the child on the phone or a family member, because sometimes it's not
And
always
now
the
they can
child.
get an AI voice thing, and they don't even need
can.
to put
Right.
the child on
Yeah.
the phone.
And the other thing is too is whenever anybody is asking you to get a gift card,
Yeah.
Bitcoin, whatever it might be,
Have we talked
no
about that?
company does that. The IRS does not contact you by phone. If you've done something so egregious, you'll have people knocking at your door. I mean, for the most part. But as far as these scams go, nobody in their right mind is going to pay with an Apple card or an iTunes card or some type of a gift card. Please, if it's too good to be true, it is. Publishers Clearinghouse.
Yeah.
Oh, you got to send in fees. You don't pay money to win money. You've paid money to, buy a lottery ticket maybe. But God, please, if you have anything that's questionable, call us and we'll walk you through it.
If you get a text message from your bank stating that, did you withdraw money from your account? If not, call this number.
Don't call it.
Don't call that number. Look on the back of your debit card. There's a phone number. If you look on anybody looks on the back of the bank card, there's a phone number. But if it's a local bank that you deal with all the time,
call them.
Call them.
Right.
You tell them, say, ask to speak to the teller that you normally deal with. Because, my mother who's elderly, she knows every teller that works in the bank that she deals with and their management. So they, call somebody that you trust and that you know. Don't just randomly call a phone number on your phone from a text message. Because
But
of
people
course,
panic. They get scared.
I know.
Oh my God,
then
somebody hit my account. I'll call that number.
Well, then they're also coached by the people that are scamming them.
Yeah.
Don't call the police, or don't tell the police what you're getting the money for. Tell them you're buying a car. Tell them you're doing this, and that's why you need this large sum of money.
Right.
Because like the way we work, we have a good connection with the bank security, that do fraud and whatnot. And they'll call us and say, hey, I have a senior person, and they're definitely getting scammed. They're pulling out a large sum of money. They're saying it's for gifts for their grandkids or for this or that. We try to educate even, businesses. If you see a senior person coming in and they're buying a plethora of gift cards, ask them what they're doing. Tell them they're probably being scammed if they're not given to that, but again, they're being coached. They're being coached. And as soon as they get that gift card back, they scratch off that PIN number in the back. They give the number on the front. Once you give that PIN number on the back that you scratch off, that money's gone.
Yeah.
Detective Leach a couple of years ago got a phone call from somebody from one of the local banks stating that they believe that one of their clients might be getting scammed. Detective Leach, I remember him calling this person and having a conversation to the point where the person was rude to Detective Alicio.
Telling me to pound sand,
You're right.
more or less.
It's my money.
I'll do what I want
with it.
You have no business calling me. You don't need to know. And I even went as far as like, okay, you're buying a car. What year is it? Well, I don't know. What model or make is it? I said, as God is my witness, this is a scam. The bank has told you, I have told you, I'm documenting this. Do not come in here tomorrow morning and tell me that you're scammed out of your money, because I'm telling you, it is a scam. That person was at the window.
Anyway?
Guess who took that report? Because I think he was off that following time when we came back to work.
And they handed them cash. Once you hand cash like that, it's gone. There's no way to trace this stuff,
And she admitted that she lied to Detective Alicia when I talked to her. She's like, I lied to him. I absolutely lied to him. And my question at this point is like,
what do you want us to do?
Yeah, well,
what can we do?
Detective Alicio told you everything that what this really was, and she didn't want to hear it. I mean, to the point, like he said, is that we're gonna hang up the phone on him and said, how do you have the audacity to tell me what to do with my money, kind of thing. And which in a way,
well, the banks
right.
have said that too. I remember when we were over at Navigant.
Yeah.
And Gina, the manager,
Gina Brancato.
She was telling us that they try, but the people will argue with the teller. It's my money. I want it. Give it to me.
Yeah.
It's not your business why I want. Just give it to me. And she says, we do everything we can. And then, we can't keep them from their money if they demand it.
Well, that's the problem. Then once their world is falling apart, they think that we can just automatically put it back together. And in some cases we can.
But that's pretty rare,
in other
isn't
cases,
it?
it is, especially when you're using gift cards or you're handing cash over. That's not traceable.
No. Usually, once you give the information on the back of, like he said, one of those iTunes gift cards or Visa cards, scratch Visa cards or gift cards, and like once you get that money over the phone, they instantly have taken down that those numbers and that security code number that's secondly scratched off. Once you give them that, within about 3 or 4 minutes, they've emptied that card off. They've They usually have
Go
things
on.
in a cart already.
And they're in Nigeria or India or
Wherever.
somewhere.
wherever they are.
Yeah,
you know.
they're not around the corner.
No, and it doesn't, and it's not like they can put it in their name and have it sent right to them, because you like, how do you ever track that? You're the one who gave them that number. I don't know what was on that card number, and who knows where they spent it. It's
That's a
gone.
shame.
I have people send money cash, thousands, tens of thousands in the mail.
Mm.
So it's like, okay, where'd you send it? Okay, so it went to this PO box, or it went to this resident. This one particular person, I pulled up on Google Earth. I said, "This is where you sent your money. This is the address you're telling me you sent it. So it's some broken down house in the middle of nowhere in some city." I said, "Does that look like a financial institute to you?" Because they think they're sending it to a bank or to another financial.
Exactly.
And a lot of times they look for vacant lots.
Well, the
or-
scammers have gotten really high tech and
Well, they've had
really
to.
good at what they've
Because
done.
we started getting better at what we do, so they've one up us.
Yeah, they
you
keep
know.
changing it.
And they just keep, seems like every couple of weeks I'm bringing a magazine to the police
I
department.
know, I'm always
with your
reading them.
name.
They're great articles.
Because I look at these things and I think, oh my God, how'd they even think this up?
Right.
They're good articles that you send me. I sit there and I read them every time I get a
I-
letter from you.
Well,
I
that's the
know.
thing. Again, if
Scary.
it's too good to be true, like somebody told you won the lottery or you won this, and then they're telling you have to pay these fees and,
Yeah.
and whatever to get. Nope. If it's too good, it sounds too good to be true. It is. It absolutely is. There's no way, shape, or form. Nobody's just forking over cash to you. No way, shape, or form.
No, of course not.
The time goes fast, and I thank you both. We could do 2 hours on this easily. You don't have to come alone. You can bring him anytime.
I love bringing him. I said he's great. You know,
Well, a lot of Wednesdays is usually my day for juvenile
me.
hearing board. That's why
About 4 or 5 years ago, when you were on the air down on Canal or somewhere, didn't you promise that you were going to bring some of the food that you make, baked stuffed shrimp or something? I don't know.
Still waiting. I
haven't
know.
Seen any of it?
when he retires, we have plenty of time to do that. For
Yeah.
you.
Yeah, exactly.
That's one thing. I want to do a
retire.
podcast. I'm not going to let the cat out of the bag because
You
it's
could do a
something
food podcast.
and I got an idea for it. So it's I think it'll be a
you
good
would
one.
be very,
maybe
very
we
good.
could couple in that somewhere and get
Sounds
something
good to
on
me.
321 Media.
Right, there you go.
Next week, everyone, we will have the Olean Center on in the first hour. Second hour isn't filled yet, but it will be. I will tell you what I tell you every week. Be safe, be good to each other, but take a risk now and then. Because, and I'm going to quote a man that I listen to, risk is the price you pay for opportunity. That comes from Police Commissioner Frank Reagan on Blue Bloods. But I love that line. Risk is the price you pay for opportunity. So yeah, extend yourself just a little bit. You'll be amazed. You might turn out like him even. So thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, Valeni Subaru. And a big thank you to you, Johnny Boots. You done good. Now go put out a fire somewhere. See you next week.